The FNCS play-ins are officially over, groups are already decided, and in today's video, I want to go over which group every single pro is in, as well as which big names were able to qualify, who failed, and everything like that. We're going to see the starts though. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we are so close to 111,000 subscribers. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. We have a lot of different things to go over though, so let's just get this video started. Alright, so if you guys still don't know how this qualification format works, it is the top 99 trios are able to make it into the group stages. So in first place on NA was the trio of Agers, Acorn, and Pollo. Now these guys finished with 1,211 points, won 4 out of their 20 matches, and got the most elims in this entire tournament with 360 total elims. I really do think that this would probably be the FNCS favorite trio if they actually were uncontested for the entire season, but we all know that that is not going to be the case. Second place to some people is the FNCS favorites of this season of Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts. They finished with 1,119 points, won 6 out of their 20 matches, so they got the second most wins in this entire tournament, and got 275 points as well. We actually got to see a clip of Kanata talking about the drama that is currently there between him and Clicks, and he also said that he thinks this is his best chance to win an FNCS. So I want to show you guys that clip real quick.
I mean, the only drama going on right now is Clicks calling out Cooper and Sphinx for teaming and acting innocent, saying that they're all trading all this when he was trading the most last grand finals, literally with Cooper. And like, I don't really know exactly what's happening, but I know it's like everyone's trading. Like, stop trying to act like innocent, you know, everyone does it. Like, and all the teams right now on NA, like, to be honest, this is my best chance to win my second FNCS, and it's just me versus Clicks, I think, in this grand finals.
Now, I mean, I don't really know if I fully agree with everything Kanata is saying right here. I think pretty much everybody is just surge trading, but it is very cool to see these different trios' perspectives on how good they actually think they can potentially do this season. Like, we pretty much have everybody saying that Clicks is going to run away with this FNCS and win the whole thing. But hey, there is some other trios that can make some real noise this season as well. Third place was Ritual Code and Peter on 1,085 points. They won 2 out of their 19 matches and finished with the second most elims, only behind Pollo once again, finishing with 346 elims. If you're wondering if we got to see any Peterbot versus Pollo off spawns today, we did get to see one of them. So I want to roll the clip for that and show you guys both POVs from it as well.
Right, I'm going right. There's a gun right, he got it. I got the other gun.
I didn't get the gun.
Wait, I didn't. Got him.
You finished?
I thought I caught him twice.
I need the gun.
Oh, my bad. Is it my wall?
There's no gun. Kill this guy. Oh, yeah,
60 white.
Agers?
What?
Why would you take my gun, brother?
I got it. Nice. 51.
On my back. 66 white. 99 white. 99 white. Come. Look. 99 white.
There's no more on you?
It's them. 99 white.
On me.
I killed one.
50 white. Dead. On me. Dead.
Nice. They're dog shit.
There's more.
Fourth place was Reed Cooper and Curly on 1,068. They were the trio that was able to get the most wins, winning 7 out of their 19 matches and getting 251 elims. Pretty much the same thing that I was saying with Kanata's trio. I said this in my video yesterday, but I was talking to Reed, and he said that he is still so confident going into this FNCS, no matter what everybody is saying about how their trio is like falling off or whatever. So I'm very excited to see what this team is actually going to be able to do. Fifth place is the trio of Clicks, Yamzo, and Higgs. They were the last team to break the 1,000 point mark, finishing with 1,027 points, winning 2 out of their 20 matches and getting 313 elims as well. I think the big 3 on NA for me is still the exact same. It's Clicks' trio, Peter's trio, and Pollo's trio. But since, as we all know, Peter and Pollo are conning each other, this to me is Clicks' season to win FNCS. And we really could just be 2 weeks away from Clicks potentially getting his first ever FNCS win. Sixth place was Aviv, G Money, and Rise on 965. Yes, I've already talked about this multiple times now, but G Money and Rise did decide to stay with Aviv, and they have officially qualified for groups together. Seventh place was Taki, Eshu, and Ver. Eighth place, another one of those teams that is trying to qualify for LAN of Mush, Shadow, and Sphinx. Ninth place was Noxy, and then rounding out the top 10 was Enough. Obviously, we got a lot of other big names that are going to be in the group stages, like 16th place of Curve, Josh, and Tyler. 17th place, the Brazil trio that ended up moving down to NA for this season of Phaser King and PH Zen. They finished with 713 points, won 2 out of their 19 matches, and got 180 total elims as well. I am so excited for how this team is actually going to look in the group stages. 18th place was Booga Threats and Craze on 707. We also got to see a Booga versus Pollo mid-game fight today as well. So I'm going to show you guys how that fight went.
They're reporting on one.
No. Oh,
I'm doing dead. Probably dead.
they're double exotic. Watch
I got
out.
out.
Watch your back.
I got out.
Can you get out?
Yeah, I'm out. I killed one.
Hunter?
I'm 1 HP. You need to kill the other one or help me.
1 HP on this guy.
I'm about to die. They're doubling you?
Guilty.
I got him 150. That's Booga.
Oliver OG finished in 19th, Visuals, Braids, and Diminished, our other land qualified team, in 20th, Dukes, Edgy, and Chance in 27th, and that was about it for all of our notable pro teams that were able to qualify. Pretty much all of the big names were able to make it through into the group stages. Pretty much all of the notable teams that were on the fence yesterday were able to make it, like Bryce's trio. Let's move on to what the actual 3 groups are, who is in them, and what the maps are looking like as well. Now, like always, NA is never going to be as stacked in the group stages as EU is, but we probably have about one solid group, which is Group 2, that we will talk about in a little bit. Of course, this isn't like 100% officially confirmed yet, but this is just the current map that we have based on the information that we were given. Just remember, some things could change though from now until Group 1 officially starts. The main big names that we have in this group though, and the trios that are probably the favorites, is like Taki, Eshu, and Vert. Booga Threats and Craze completely uncontested. Adria's, Acorn, and Pollo are gonna get a fully uncon Demon's Domain. Wouldn't be surprised if that was like a game 1 winning trio. We also have like Aviv, Rise, and G Money. Don't really have any super big names fighting off spawn in this. Oliver OG's trio also completely uncontested. Moving on to Group 2 though, is probably the group that I would say is the most stacked and the best group out of all of NA. We have trios in this like Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs, Noisy, Creon, and Tony, Phaser, King, and PH Zen, who are currently contested at Lone Wolf Lair. So I really do hope that King is able to either get this drop spot uncontested, or they just absolutely run them off spawn, because it would absolutely suck if they moved all the way to NA for this season and just got in a grief fest off spawn, so they weren't even able to make it into grands. We have Mush, Shadow, and Sphinx currently contested off spawn. Wouldn't be surprised if this team maybe end up leaving though, but it doesn't look like they want to. Seek, Donnie, and Joji, Visuals, Braids, and Diminished are going to be contested by Skittles, Dash, and Bryce. These guys have been fighting the entire season. Rapid, Kanata, and Bullets are also in this group. We have Noah W plays in this, and that is pretty much it for all of the big names. I would definitely say though that this is the best group on NA. And then moving on to Group 3, this one is debatable on whether or not you want to say this is the second best group or not. You have trios contested like Osid, Soneto, and Cam contested. Recooper and Curly are going to be uncon at Flooded Frogs. Death, Sales, and Encrypted are contested. Stifferooni's contested. Npen, Zen, and Nut will be completely uncon at Pump Power. Dukes, Edgy, and Chance are uncon. You have Curve, Tyler, and Josh getting an uncon outpost, so we're not going to get to see the Rise versus Josh off spawn fight in heats at all, and we will also not get to see the Peterbot versus Pollo off spawn fight either, because Pollo is in Group 1 and then Peter is in Group 3, and he's going to have a fully uncontested Demon's Domain. And that is about it for all of the big names in each of the current groups so far. Alright, the final statistics in this for the most damage combined from day 1 and day 2 of the play-ins for NA was 10th place of Clicks on 23,649, 9th place of Aviv, 8th place of Higgs, 7th of Curly, 6th of Agers, 5th of Cold, 4th of Bolts, 3rd Yamzo, 2nd of Pollo, and then 1st place was Peter on 33,682. Peter and Pollo continue to just be 1st and 2nd place on all of these stat leaderboards, it seems like. And then for the stat leaders, like we just said, Peter finished with the most damage. Pollo finished with the most elims, getting 165 elims by himself. Assist was Acorn with 169, and then Shadow had a 2.16 damage ratio. Let's actually move on to how EU went now though. Now in EU, these groups are about to be absolute chaotic cinema. Let's of course though go over everybody that was able to qualify, as well as a few big names that were not able to qualify as well. In first place, we had the trio of Chino, Pablo, and Ferdoxy. Now they finished with 1,054 points, won 3 out of their 19 matches, and absolutely destroyed the elim numbers as well, finishing with 273 total elims. This trio was one of only 2 teams on all of EU to break the 1,000 point mark. I swear I literally just haven't had any negative things to say about this trio ever since really their performance in the last grand finals. They are 100% in contention to win this season's FNCS, and they're probably going to be my pick to win the whole thing as well. Second place, a trio I am super happy to see doing well is Pigstorm and Demas. They have had pretty much a rough season this whole entire season, but they were able to finish with 1,000 points exactly, win 7 out of their 19 matches, so they had the most wins out of any other trio on all of EU, and finished with 199 elims as well. I mean, hey, if they're able to get uncontested in grand finals, maybe some people would be back on the Pigstorm and Demas hype train to winning this FNCS. I just don't think I am personally there quite yet. Third place is our first trio out of this list that is trying to qualify for LAN of Pink, Nebs, and Kiro. They finished with 827 points, so a pretty big gap in points between the top 2 and the rest of the leaderboard. Fourth place was Moneymaker's new trio of TD and Fanayan on 811. This is honestly to me a pretty surprising team that ended up doing quite well in this. Fifth place was Ilusha, Helkis, and Velry. Now, Ilusha, if you recognize that name, he was part of the trio that was absolutely dominating the Star Wars season with him, Wheat, and Nefrizzi. But then he actually ended up getting dropped, and with his new trio, he ended up placing 5th place. 6th place was Ghost, Hyper, and Jules. 7th place was Sky Scroll and Thomas HD. 8th place was Contry. 9th place was Dre. And then rounding out the top 10 was Vico, Vino, and Flixie. Of course, as I've been saying, a top 99 qual format, we have a lot of big names that were able to qualify, like 11th place of Pingwux and Malibuka, Wheat and Nefrizzi's new trio. In 12th was Sined, Swizzy, Queasy, and Merstash in 15th. I know a lot of you Mr. Savage fans were hoping the trio in 17th did bad of Focus, Mixon, and Upple, but they had an absolutely stellar day 2. 18th place was Vidil, Cringe, and Volko. 19th place, Benya, Pixie, Marius, Briz, Tayson, and Chicho in 26th. Cammy's trio in 33rd, Mongrel's trio in 39th, Panzer's trio in 50th, Chat Mr. Savage and Rezon in 52nd. I'm not really going to critique any of these trios placements that didn't necessarily place super high in the opens, because at the end of the day, if you qualled, you qualled, and that is all that matters. We have Shark's trio in 54th, and then a team that was on our potential non-qual watch yesterday was just barely able to secure their spot into heats in 97th place, the trio of Trulex, Teeny, and Skavi. They finished with 518 points and won 2 out of their 20 matches as well. So happy that the Trulex to LAN dream is still alive, as a player that has quite literally gotten back-to-back 3rd places at the most recent LANs. It would be absolutely insane if he went from that to not even being able to make it into heats. And then unfortunately, I think the main big name trio that was not able to make it into groups is 115th place of Yanis, Noah Riley, and Kiduo. I don't want to necessarily say that their season is fully over. They do still have the last chance qualifiers, but being able to qualify out of the last chance is probably 10 times harder than it is to be able to qualify from play-ins to groups. And so if they weren't able to do that, I don't know how confident I am going to be in them to win a game in last chance, but of course, best luck to them. All right, let's move on to the final group maps now. Now, I am not, like I said for NA, going to be making my official predictions quite yet. I'm gonna wait and see if any trios get banned or if Epic Games decides to do what they did last season and completely switch up the groups. But as of right now, this is what the current group situation is looking like. So in Heat 1, our main super big name teams is like Venya, Pixie, and Marius. We have Ferdoxi's trio getting a completely uncontested Supernova Academy, Wheat, Nefrizzi, and Sined getting an uncon Pump Power. We have Sharks trios down here, Sky Scroll, Thomas HD being unconned, but Deal is unconned. Trulex gets an uncon POI as well, and there's not really any super big name trios in group 1 that are contested. This is probably going to be one of the easier groups to predict. Obviously the main favorites out of this is like Ferdoxy, Pixie, Thomas HD, players like that. And then moving on to group 2, I mean honestly this group might be weaker than group 1. The main big name players in this is like Focus, Mixon, and Upple. They are going to get an uncontested resistance base. You have Turtle fighting off Spawn versus Repairs, so it looks like Turtle might might actually potentially go to Flooded Frogs in grand finals, which is something that we talked about in the Eval Cup if you watch that. We have a triple contest at first order base. Seti, Yapko, and Panzer are going to be fully unconned. Pigstar, Mindemus fully unconned. Definitely two of the favorites from this group as well. I think our main big name trio from this group that is contested is going to end up being Pingwalks and Malabuka versus I Am Noob, Letfo, and Frixify. I'm not sorry if I mispronounced their names. I still don't really have any doubt in my mind that Malabuka's trio is going to be able to qualify for groups. You have Dexy, Eclipse, and Twy, Frisk, Tayson, and Chicho also uncontested. But then I think when we move on to Group 3, this is probably far and away the most stacked group, the group of death this season for EU. You have players like Chat, Mr. Savage, and Rezon. They are fully uncontested at the resistance base though. Hopefully a breeze for them to be able to qualify for grands. Pink Nebs and Kiro also completely uncontested. Some of the big off-spawn fights that we are going to have though is Mongo, Kaido, and Haijo versus Josh Bot. I saw some things that Josh might potentially want to split this POI, and I really hope they don't do that because I don't feel like Pump Power is going to have good enough loot for both of them to be able to qualify for grands if they are actually splitting. So I hope that Mongo's trio tries to aggress them and fight them off spawn. Mongo did actually talk about his strategies going into him being contested though, so I'll unroll that clip for you guys real quick.
If the whole center of our heat 3 is conned and the outside is con, that means the quintessential geographical location of the zones means we should rotate on 80 degrees on the dead side so we don't run into people and we can get surge 45 degrees. So this is actually really beneficial for us.
We have a lot of other super great teams in this though, like Vico, Vino, and Flixie fully uncontested, iDrop, Hari, and Cammy uncontested. We have Prism, Kiri, and Casper on the left side, as well as CZB's trio. Scrolling down even more, we see teams like Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache being contested by the other trio that wants to go to Demon's Domain officially of Artskill, Podesite, and X-Sweeze. I still really cannot think of any reason why Artskill's trio is wanting to contest this POI. Like, this gotta be considered some type of land dodging. I just see no chance that this team is going to be able to make land triple contesting Demon's Domain. We have Moneymaker being conned off spawn, and then Clown's trio is going to be landing the new Superman POI. Hey, this group is going to be absolute cinema though. Mr. Savage and Mongrel in the exact same group. I think it's going to be pretty difficult for Mongrel to be able to qualify for grands, unfortunately. Him being contested in something like this, especially for a team that says they're going to potentially split the POI. I think the favorites out of this group currently are definitely Mr. Savage, Vino, Cammy, and then like Pink, Nebs, and Kiro as well. There is a lot of wild card teams in this group though. All right, let's move on to the final kin stats now though, and this is combined damage from both day 1 and day 2. But in 10th place for the most damage was Yapko, 9th place was Sato, 8th place was Nebs, 7th was Kiro, 6th was Vino, 5th Thomas HD, 4th of Swizzy, and then the top 3 is the entire trio with Chino in 3rd, Pablo in 2nd, and then Ferdoxy in 1st with 26,272. This trio is just looking so primed up right now going into FNCS. And I mean, speaking of how good Ferdoxy is playing, oh my goodness, if you look at these stat leaders, Ferdoxy had the most damage, the most elims with 96 elims, so he himself got more elims than a lot of full entire trios combined did. Pablo had the most assist, damage ratio was a 2.5 for Thomas HD, and then damage per minute was also for Doxy with an 87.46. Other than that though, remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. FNCS hype is finally back. We should have so many videos coming out over these next couple of days, so make sure you guys just turn on notifications so you guys don't miss any of that. Remember, please use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. YouTube says enjoy Winnie Stu videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.